Why I share my journey. Welcome to 40 Plus First Time Mom. I am going to share today the reason behind I the reason behind why I am so expressive about the whole process of being a 40 plus first time mom. For starters, I think it's important because I know a lot of women who are still believing God for marriage and a family. So they need encouragement simply because I was over 35 when I got married. I was over 40 when I had my first child. Therefore, the more we see what we desire, the more we are encouraged that it too can be our story. So that's why I'm sharing. And not only because others desire this, I believe that the details will bring such freedom to so many people because the details put the dots together. You know, sometimes it's not this linear path that we take, but it can go up, down, in and out, and all this type of stuff. And you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't plan for that. I didn't even know about that. And then when you have someone that come and freely share their journey with transparency and vulnerability, it helps you to see the intricate parts of marriage, relationships, pregnancy, birthing, family, and all that fun stuff. So that's why I'm here and I'm excited to share. And one of the things I want to be clear about is your heart's desire is valid. It is valid. Your desire to get married and you're over 30, that's valid. You are valuable. Your desire to have children, it is valid. You are valuable. Your desire to do amazing things and be over 30. I don't know what it is about society and culture that says after a certain age, all your desires, they really don't matter, or they are skewed or lessened. I'm like, who made you Lord over someone else's life in which you didn't create? Like those are like questions that I have, like the audacity. Like you don't dictate to me. And so sometimes we need to see in real life someone else who is boldly living, and sometimes we need that little nudge to boldly live. We need that nudge to say, to remind us that we are okay, we are brilliant, we are capable. And there's so many lies out here about body makeup, body composition, hormones, health, wellness, relationships, birthing children. There are so many lies out here that I enjoy sharing truth, and I enjoy sharing breakthrough. I enjoy sharing the process and the journey, and that's my why. So if you are a young lady and you are over 30, you are still young. Your desires and dreams, they absolutely can come true. And is it challenging, and is it work, and is it diligence? Is it consistency in some areas? Absolutely. Is it easy in some areas? Absolutely. I promise you, when I first got married, we decided that the first year we didn't want to have children. You know what I mean? We didn't want to try for children. The first year we were trying to be as careful as possible. And so I thought, okay, you get married, you make decisions, you have a whole bunch of sex, and you have children. No. Year two, no. Year three, no. Year four, wow. I got pregnant in year four of marriage and delivered after our 5-year anniversary. So though we planned only to wait a year, it took longer than we desired. However, at no time were we like, oh man, we didn't even, I don't even know. I'm so thankful for who I married also, because we didn't consider our age in the process. We didn't consider, it wasn't on our radar. We got married. We knew we wanted to extend our family, and that's exactly what we did. It wasn't even a second thought. I hear a lot of people, this is why I share my story. I hear a lot of people mulling in doubt and uncertainty, like repeatedly over and over again. And I'm like, that can truly be your biggest struggle is the mindset and what you're mulling over. And we never even second guessed it. Like literally, it was I don't know. Like that's why when we went to certain doctors and they weren't excited, I'm like, why aren't you excited? Well, I'm not gonna stick around to see why you aren't. I'm gonna leave you exit left and go to a place that's whole. And that's when we found our midwife. Another episode I did talk about that. However, I'm doing this to encourage young women. And when I say young, if you still moving, you young. You hear me? I know people that are advanced in age and they are doing some awesome and amazing things. And they are vibrant, they're youthful, they're hitting the gym, they're eating well, so age is, I don't know, I believe is what you make it at the end of the day. I know a lot of younger people in number that are not as agile. Their mindset keeps them in the lull and keeps them as a couch potato, and they're very youthful. So come on, we have to really reevaluate how we're processing things and then run with that. So this is why I do 40 plus first time mom to encourage others in some core areas: relationships, expectations. Sometimes our expectations are off. I did another video if you all haven't seen it. Oh goodness, what was the title of that one? I think it's like 4 videos, maybe episode 6 or something like that, 6 or 7, where I'm talking about my desire in praying for my husband and having a type. I'm going to tell you all, we have to reevaluate when we say my type. And what does type mean? Is it realistic? And I'll share a story. I remember I was journaling one time and I was writing down the type of man I wanted. And I just burst out laughing because I was like, Jesus, this is you. I was just all in La La Land. But it was funny to me the things that I wrote down. So of course I had to revisit a few times. But one of the things I will encourage you all to know that when you are considering type, let's not allow vanity to be a driving point, external things to be a driving point, like his height has to be a certain height or his complexion has to be a certain complexion. What I am saying, it's okay to desire someone who is pleasing to look at. However, what if your husband is not um taller than you, but the same height? Because I know it's a thing about the same height. I mean, about taller men. What if he's shorter than you? What if he checks all the boxes, but he's leaner than you thought? Because I know some women like teddy bears. It's different things that you can think about, but those are all physical things. And at the end of the day, if you're not emotionally connected, I don't care how fine he is, he is going to get on your nerves and he's not going to be fulfilling because he's leaving you void in areas that are important. If he's not kind, if he's not gentle, if he's not responsible, those are things that will deter you, even if those external things are in place. And we have to be careful on the journey. So, this is why I share. Another reason why is because identity is important. Knowing who you are is important well before we're not even going to think about having a child. Before even a relationship, we have to know who we are. And it's a event that my husband and I went to, and he did this exercise, and it had to say if you had to go save um someone or something happened, you had to check somebody out of jail, something like that. um who would you say first or something. I can't remember what it is. And it's like, write the top people who comes to mind first. And well, I could be saying this wrong, but I said myself and then I named two other people. And his point that he was trying to make, which I didn't know was his point, he was saying that a lot of people don't even consider themselves when it comes to taking care of someone's needs because we're always giving, we're always thinking about others, but we don't consider ourselves. And so I reflect back to the scripture that says, love your neighbor as yourself. Therefore, if you're not asing yourself, if you're not loving yourself, you can't properly extend love to someone else because you're giving from an empty space. You're giving from a space that's not even valued. I care for Michelle. I enjoy Michelle. And from that place of enjoying myself, I put myself in spaces and with people that I can also enjoy. So, and if they aren't present, my joy doesn't leave. So it's so important to be full and give from a place of fullness and identity and foundation. And that helps us. So this is why I have this channel. Identity is important. Foundational things are important. Having things in order. Relational things are important. And so all these things include why I created 40 plus first time mom. So I hope you stay tuned in, be encouraged. Put in the comments some topics you want me to touch on. Put in the comments think your experiences and all that fun stuff. And remember that I have a journal, my pregnancy journey, which takes you from the time you get pregnant all the way through postpartum, and it has beautiful letters and encouragements, and it also has um, activities in here, just fun stuff to help you on your journey because it's such a beautiful journey in pregnancy. And did you know that statistically, women that are pregnant, they dream more? So it's a dream log in there where you can put your dreams down and remember them and all that fun stuff. And also, we have a personal strategy series, a 5-day challenge, and a mastermind. Be sure to jump in those because I say it all the time, a personal strategy leads to a life of fulfillment. We want to be whole, we want to be congruent in our lives. And this series helps you to have those foundational things in place so that you can feel fulfilled, not getting to the end of the day and regretting it, but at the end of the day, say, I gave my all for today. I am satisfied with today. I'm fulfilled with today, and I'm ready for tomorrow. And that's an intentional life. So that those details are in the comments for you as well. So be sure to like, subscribe, share with others, comment, all that fun stuff on the video. And I am super excited that you took time to watch this episode. See you next time. Bye.